All right, we are good whenever you are ready. Tracy, you're muted.
I was going to give just a minute to see if Tina and John are able to join this evening. We'll give them just a minute here to see if they get logged in. Otherwise, it's a pretty small crew, but that's okay. Let's see. Which one of you? There we go. So I can see both. We do have 6 o'clock just now, according to my little computer clock. So we'll go ahead and call our meeting to order. And we'll start off by reviewing minutes from the last meeting. Is there any discussion or question over last month's minutes?
The minutes and the recording from the last meeting are on the YouTube channel for anyone who would also like to go back and view it.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I will motion to accept the minutes.
And a second?
I second.
Thank you. And approved. And so then treasurer's report would be our next one. I don't know if John is on right now. I see
It doesn't show that he's on. We can always circle back to this and hope
I was
that
just going to
just
say, yeah, let's come back to it without him here. So we'll jump into some old business, a little fundraiser update of the current fundraiser we're in right now. Generally speaking, I think things have been going pretty well. It was kind of a rough start by not having school on the days that we were supposed to be kicking off our fundraiser. But the directors and the teachers made a great effort and got that out anyway. And then we basically got everyone started the Monday after. The fundraiser ends on November 6th. And we are still doing our same prize program where we're using the prize incentives from the company for the sellers. And then the top seller from each ensemble will receive a music swag item. And the overall top seller will receive a $50 Amazon gift card. We have realized through this that it would be maybe very nice if we could receive electronic donations directly to the music parents. So we're going to discuss this under new business if there's a way we could make that happen. Overall, it's been pretty successful. There's been a couple glitches. I know we didn't get the prizes out right away, but we got that fixed. I know there was a problem with the one order, and I think that is getting taken care of and looked into. One thing that we might want to look at is I feel kind of bad because we were selling popcorn at the same time that Boy Scouts are selling popcorn. So maybe we need to look at changing that a little bit in the future. I hate to compete directly with another worthy organization that's trying to do a fundraiser of the same thing at the same time. I just checked online a little bit ago and we have sold $3,944 worth of product at this point, which I think is really great. That means our profit right now is $2,034.50. You know, I wasn't really sure how that compared to years in the past. Maybe average for most years is right around there. Last year we had, I think, exceptionally a good year. So hopefully we'll still get more sales here. We've got until November 6th for this to go, but I'd kind of like to know your guys' feedback as to how you feel like it's going, and are the kids enjoying this fundraiser? You know, what are your general thoughts?
At least I can speak for some of the band things. I've had some parents who have said that they weren't interested in setting up like the popcorn accounts, but they were interested in buying popcorn. So I've been directing them to some students who haven't had a lot of sales. So that might be something worth in the future of having like just a generic music boosters one where we can send them to buy popcorn. Because I know, like I said, I've had a lot of parents who are like, well, I'm interested in buying popcorn. I just don't want to go through the hassle of having my kid sell it. Which in reality, and what I've been telling them too, is that with this, there really isn't a hassle. They just set it up and they sit back and relax. It's not like years past where they've had to handle product and take money and deliver product. Everything is literally shipped straight to the person. I know, like personally, I ordered popcorn, I think like the first day, and I got it like within 3 days. So they've had really fast turnaround, which, as I told the team, is great because like I've already eaten half my popcorn, which means that like I'll probably honestly order more popcorn before this is over, which I'm assuming other people are probably in the same boat because realistically, the price wise isn't bad at all. You know, a pound of pop or a gallon of popcorn, you know, definitely specialized popcorn for $16, you really can't beat it.
Right. And our profit margin is good on it. 50% is, I think, a good profit margin. With that, we do have a Music Parents account set up this year for selling popcorn. And I'm sorry if I did not get that information. I apologize greatly. When we sent the letter or the Facebook blurb out to the community, there was the Music Parents Gmail account listed that they could email if they wanted popcorn, and anything that was sold through there would go just into the Music Parents account. So that did go out to the public. But at last time I checked, there was no orders through that one. So you know, that is something we did set up, going along with the idea of the donation. You know, yeah, if they didn't have a contact with somebody they wanted to buy popcorn from, but they just wanted to help out the music program, there is that option for them too. What about Ms. Toika? Do you feel like it's been pretty successful? Do you have other comments about it?
I think it's been successful. I know that I've had quite a few students who have run into issues with the shipping cost. But, you know, usually it was they sent it to like their elementary school teachers or teachers at the junior high. And I directed those students to encourage the teacher to find other teachers that were also ordering from that particular student and like do a group order. That way the shipping cost was split across multiple teachers. So I kind of found my own little workaround there.
Definitely.
And I mean, it's probably going to be a mistake in the long run, but I told the orchestra kids, if they outsell me, they get to be teacher for a day. They got very excited about that. So who knows?
Awesome.
See how that
That's
goes.
that's way more enticing to them than just getting some trinket from fundraising. If they get to be teachers today, that's like way better.
Oh yeah.
So that's a great idea. And I know personally, Joey doesn't care if he's first, second, third, fourth. He just wants to beat Mr. Cannon. That's really his only concern. He's like, just don't let Mr. Cannon beat me.
That's like the thing we started in band is I honestly don't care, you know, what place we come in. It's just we're trying to like make it competitive, and then that's where like today we had a kid out of nowhere in 2 hours sell $600 worth of popcorn because he's like, I was losing to Mr. Cannon and I can't have that, and my mom wasn't gonna let that happen, so we had to like sell $600 worth of popcorn. I'm like, all right, dude, like go ahead.
So. That's great. Hey, yeah, I mean, I feel like overall this has been very little work for, I feel like anyone, unless the directors feel very differently about that. It's a very hands-off fundraiser, which is awesome, especially this year with all of the added complications with, being remote. So it's been a great time to use this one. And we can kind of see at the end, how we like that. Like I said, the only thing I felt really bad about was realizing that we were selling the exact same product as another group at the same time. I did not realize that was happening, and I felt bad when I heard that. So, maybe we can look into that for the future and try not to overlap exactly the same. Otherwise, I feel like, it's going. We've got, a little over a week yet to go, and hopefully we can keep those numbers going higher. So I think that looks pretty good. Do we have any other comments on fundraiser? Otherwise, we can move on to beginning band and orchestra updates. Is that going pretty well?
Yeah, so we had a sign-up event on Friday. So out of the forms we have received back, excuse me, we had 62 people who had said they needed to rent an instrument. There were 15 people that had rented an instrument before the event, and then 32 people had come to the event at IT to rent an instrument. And the way we actually did it this year is we had scheduled appointments. We had 5 writers. Parents had to schedule an appointment. They came, signed up for their rental, and then walked out with their instruments. So the majority of the band kids and orchestra kids for grade now have their instruments. I would say overall, I mean, Cindy and I and Keith had talked. We felt that this recruitment event, the way we had set it up this year, is probably going to be our go-to from now on, because it just ran so much more smoothly than what it normally does, where we have 60 people come at once and then nobody for a couple hours. So I thought overall it went really well. And then the district did post the jobs at the end of last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry. That was October the 16th. On a Friday, they posted the positions for 5th grade. So they are accepting candidates. We're just waiting to hear to schedule interviews. And then hopefully we can get that going soon, because our original plan had that going in the next week or two. So.
And was that a full-time for band and a full-time for orchestra?
Yes, the positions were posted for full-time. Unless I'm Ms. Toyka, if I'm speaking, please.
You're correct. It's 1.0 for both. So they're both full-time.
I hope you get some great candidates and can really help. I know that it was a difficult year to start recruitment. So hopefully having more hands is going to really help that out for you guys. But you've done great. Thank you. Any other updates with that?
At this time, that is all we currently have updated. We're still waiting on clarification from the district for further comments.
Sure. That's great. We'll move on to music swag. We were hoping to maybe kick something off in November with online orders for the music swag. If you don't mind sharing the t-shirts and sweatshirts one, Mr. Cannon. These are the designs with the music logo. The prices at the bottom are our cost, $17.50, I believe. Looking there so I can see them a little clearer.
So the sweatshirt is $17.50 for the hoodie. Without the hood, it is $14.25. The t-shirt is $8.25, and the long sleeve t-shirt is $10.50.
And those last year we sold both sweatshirts for $20, and both shirts, the short sleeve and the long sleeve, for $15. So we make a slight profit, through there. I would feel very comfortable doing the same thing this year, keeping prices at $20 for the sweatshirts and $15 for the t-shirts. Once we make a decision on what we want our price point to be, then Susan will set up the online fun t-shirt order form for us. So we just need to decide on the price point, and then we also need to discuss if we want to add the little teddy bear with the logo on it to the online order. We have 3 different options to look at for that. So the first one being, let's see, I look at my notes. So basically there are 3 different bears that we can get our logos printed on little t-shirts on them, and they're really adorable. The 1 6-inch bear requires a 50 order minimum. We have to order 50 bears, which is pretty high. That's the one you're showing right now. Whoops, sorry. The one with the red shirt on requires 50 teddy bears to be ordered, and they charge approximately $36 in shipping. So if we price that out per bear, each bear would cost $9.97, but we would have to order 50 of them. The second bear only requires a 24. It's that one right there that one. That bear is also 6 inches. It would price us out at $9.76 per bear, and they only require 24 minimum order. And then there is a third bear that costs $17, that one right there, per bear. That includes shipping, but there is no minimum order. You can order however many you want. $17, and that's an 8-inch bear, so it's slightly, 2 inches bigger. So if we want to offer those for online sales, we need to decide which one we would like to offer this year and how we would like to do that. I kind of am scared with the 50 minimum one. That seems like a lot, but it could be held over to another year. If you really liked that one, we could hang on to them and they could be sold again. But so basically we're looking at $9.97 for that bear that's up right now, that's kind of got fuzzy fur around it. $9.76 for the same size bear but smoother, and then $17 for the larger bear. And again, we can either order as many as we want with the $17 bear. We have to do a 24 order minimum for the middle bear, or a $50 minimum for the other one. So I guess I would, love some feedback from what you guys would like to go with.
To be completely honest, I don't think there's going to be an issue with selling 50 bears.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a popular item, and even if we don't sell them all, it's one of those items that are not going to. It's not a perishable item, so it's something that we put in a Rubbermaid, and seal them and sell them at concerts in the future. And I think that, like, personally for me, like, I would be more willing to buy the Fuzzy Wuzzy one for William over the little more plain one. And that's just me. So my vote would be for the $50 minimum one, or 50 minimum one.
Mm-hmm. Any other?
Miss Pica.
I liked the fuzzy one. My only concern would be, they don't have a purple shirt, so we couldn't match the actual swag. But we could do it on, black or white. Me being me, of course, I was like, it'd be kind of fun if it all matched, but I don't think it's worth doing the $17 bear just to get a purple shirt.
If we sell them for just a little bit more to make a profit, that becomes a pretty expensive bear.
Exactly.
One.
Well, and don't forget that isn't our logo itself is purple, so you're gonna want it on a shirt. So you're gonna want, because we have our logo itself is purple. So wouldn't you want this on a white shirt or a black shirt anyways?
But the actual swag that we buy, like the swag.
I see what you're talking about now. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
But again, it's having it on black or white isn't a big deal. I think one year we had black t-shirts for swag. So it wouldn't be like super weird. And I think like just the sweat, the like spirit wear that PTA sells. I'm pretty sure they have like black with the purple IT stuff on it. So it would still work. I knowing some of my kids and how many times in Zoom classes I look up and there's like a stuffed animal right here. I don't think we're going to have much of an issue with the bears.
Yeah, and that was the thought, they are not a perishable item, so they could be, carried over for future sales. I was definitely leaning towards the first two, either the 50 minimum or the 24 minimum. I just thought that price point was a little bit better. So I have no problem if we want to approve going with the one that's up right now.
And then are we looking to sell them for $15 or what are we looking for?
And then I was thinking, yeah, that would cost us $9.97 per bear is our cost. So if we sold them, yeah, like 15 still is a fair price.
Yeah.
I think that would keep anyone necessarily from it. That would seem like a good point to me.
Yeah.
Would you guys want that on the black t-shirt probably?
I think black would look better than the white, and white gets dirty.
Yeah.
Thinking about middle
Don't
school.
ask me, I'm colorblind. Don't ask the colorblind guy.
Well, for William to chew on it, you're going to want it to be not white.
He's got a Rolly the dog from something over here somewhere that's dark purple or something.
From
So
Puppy Dog Pals?
yeah, he's addicted to that. So
I love it.
That's awesome. All right. So I will contact Susan to put an order together for us, an online order that would include 50 of those teddy bears with black t-shirts and the logo in white. And then we'll approve the $20 for sweatshirts and $15 for t-shirts. And I'll ask her to put that online order form together. Do we have a date in mind? I know we had mentioned, like having it out in time for people to do holiday shopping. Do we have a date we'd like that to start? November 7th after fundraiser?
I was going to say, usually we start at the second week of November, so that would be November 13th. But I don't
Does that
know,
work?
what's her turnaround time, do we know?
I will double check. I do not know.
Because I mean, ideally, I would start there and find out what her turnaround time is, because we'd like to have them to the kids before they go to break. And since we're going to have to do a pickup event, because she's going to deliver them all to school, we're going to need to arrange that with administration.
Yes.
So I would start there and then work back. And then as far as the teddy bears, I would also see to play devil's advocate to see if she would let us what the turnaround time is on that, because my concern is if we order 50 and we end up needing like 53 of them would be my concern, because then you'd have to order another multiple of 50 again.
Mm-hmm.
So see if we can at least delay that till what a rough idea of how many we need, because I just don't want to order 50 and then need like 52 and then you have to tell two kids, sorry, you don't get a teddy bear.
Right. What is the date of our break?
Oh, you're asking me question. Let me look. Mr. Jamrose, do you know offhand?
Sorry, I had to go say goodnight to my kid.
Oh, sorry.
He's getting tucked in, so I had to go see. What was the question?
When do we go on break?
For
Winter
November or December? Winter break?
Winter.
Hold on one second. Winter break starts the 21st is a Monday. So the last day of school is the 18th. It's a Friday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I will work with Susan about, backfilling and remembering we need time for them to be able to arrange a pickup for those items and everything.
And I would try to I would try, and we could talk to admin to nail down a date. I would honestly shoot for like a pickup date if we can at IT of the 16th, which is that Wednesday before break. Because usually Wednesday is when we have more availability for those type of things.
Okay.
Either the 9th or the 16th. And we can nail down a date with administration. And get
Either one of those would be fine. I'm looking at the calendar. Either one would be fine.
Okay, so then let's just plan on the 16th then being our date when we would need everything dropped off to IT
Right, no later
or a
than,
handout. So we would need it there like that Tuesday or that Monday.
right,
And
exactly.
she's actually really good about, she puts everything in, because we got like our IT swag today. She puts it in bags with like the sticker of the person who ordered on there. So that way you just bind that and run.
So we don't have to sort it. She's already got it organized and
Yeah, she does a really good job of that.
fantastic. So potentially start selling, potentially, depending on what her turnaround time is, November 13th, as a rough estimate, basing off of her turnaround time. Okay. And I'll just be in contact with you guys to verify the dates that she's looking at, and then we can confirm those, and she will put the whole online order together and you guys can hand those out or distribute those to your classes. So that should go pretty smoothly, I think. So that's going well. Awesome. If you guys have no urgent need for bylaws to be updated, I would love to table that for another month so we can get a little more feedback from some of the officers on that. Is everyone okay if we table that?
Yep.
Okay, great. Have we had any interest in volunteers to take over some of the social media work?
I have had nobody email me or contact me to take over any of the music parent social media accounts.
Okay, we will continue trying to find someone that feels like that would be something right up their alley. So if anyone signs in and would be interested in helping with taking over some of the social media and website, basically PR for the music parents and music groups to celebrate the things that are going on in this ensemble, just email Mr. Cannon, and we would really appreciate someone's help with that. That would be great. So thank you. Probably tabling, again, I hate to table too much, but trophies and awards, unless someone had a brilliant brainstorm idea on how we could use those, we might wait on that also.
Ms. Toika suggested reaching out to the Addison Museum to see if they would be interested in taking any of them. And then Mark Corey had suggested reaching out to the alumni, figuring out what year they would have graduated AT, and reaching out to those alumni organizations to see if any of them would be interested as well. The problem, looking at most of what we have, the majority of the plaques have the actual like plaque for what it was, but are missing the dates because those date plaques have all pretty much fallen off. So, I mean, that's kind of the problem of where we're at right now. And about like 80 or 90% of the ones that are currently up are from the 80s. Most of the trophies we have are from the 90s. And then some of the stuff in the boxes predates all that. So that would be like the 70s and before that. Sorry, my
So
dog.
we're talking a couple generations back then, for who we would be looking for.
You.
All right, we will continue to do a little more research. I like those suggestions, though. I will contact the Addison Museum to see, if that is anything that would go, they would be interested in, and then, seeing about reaching out for some alumni if that's a possibility. We'll kind of look into those. Those are good ideas to at least get us started and get going with something. So that's awesome. For the tax exempt status, Eileen wasn't able to be here this evening, but she's been really running that really well so far. She has talked to Mr. Langton about applying to be a 501c3 status organization, and he thought that was definitely a good idea and something we should be doing. So she is still working on that, and she will have more updates for us at the next meeting. But we have gotten the go-ahead from Mr. Langton to pursue that further. So that was what we were, needing last time. So that's great. For the new jazz band fronts, I've been talking to Mr. Cannon just recently. I looked at a couple printing companies to print the logo on the front, and the prices were pretty outrageous, but I found someone who can probably do it and very reasonable. It's a friend of mine's parents, so they're really willing to give us a great deal on it. So I think we can get that accomplished in the next few months.
I just need to know the size that they want the logo to be so I can remaster it to that size.
Sure.
So if you can get me either a pixelation size for what they want that to be, and I will try to remaster it on. I have the full master suite upstairs for Adobe, so I will try to get that.
Great. Do you know if you want the vinyl or if the glossy would be okay?
Honestly, whatever you think would look the best. They are kind of glossy themselves, so I mean, I feel like if you put something that's not quite glossy on them, it might look a little weird, if that makes sense. So I think the glossy would be fine.
And they're a really high quality company. They've done a lot of printing for years, so I really trust their opinion on it a lot. And the first thing that she suggested was this glossy. I gave her the website where you bought the stand so she could see the exact description of the material and everything, so there wouldn't be any confusion over that. And she suggested the glossy. So I will ask her about what pixel size image she needs, and then we can get moving forward on that one too. So fantastic.
I usually defer to people that are a lot smarter than me. So if that's what they recommend, then I will let them recommend it, and I will go with what they recommend.
That sounds good. That's great. We did talk about the need for setting up a way to receive electronic donations. One thing as this process came along through this fundraiser, there's a place where people can donate. Unfortunately, I did not read all the fine print, and if people donate, that's just considered a profit, and we only get 50% of the profit. I did call our rep and say, that just kind of feels wrong that people think they're giving us $50 and we're really only getting 25, or it's not printed that way. Nobody really knows that. And he said, well, that's, how we go, because you get 50% of the profit. And I kind of had a little more conversation with him about it. And we are going to get 75% profit from those donations instead of the 50%. So I feel a little bit better that we kind of conceded a little bit in the middle there. But I think it would be better if we could just tell people if they want to make a donation, it could go straight into the Music Boosters account. Would be a much streamlined process, and then we would get 100% no matter what fundraiser activity we were doing. Or also, as we've done the Patrons of the Arts, that could be ran through there. Also, I think there's a lot of reasons we might want to look into making this happen for our organization. I did a little looking, and Mr. Cannon, I will defer completely to you on this. I did some talking to several people who suggested that since we're using Google Sites as our website, that PayPal goes very well with that. It's supposed to be a very seamless process and go well. You may very well know other things that work just as well or better. So I would, like some suggestions and conversations about how we might do that.
So personally, I use PayPal for everything. I run a couple different servers, and I always use PayPal. The reason for that, PayPal does take a percentage unless somebody pays with a PayPal account. So for instance, I have my debit card linked to my PayPal account. So anytime I pay somebody with my debit card through PayPal, it 100% of it goes to them. I don't have to pay any fees, and they don't pay any fees on their end. The only issue is they do charge a percentage on like live transactions. So the only times we would take a hit on that would really, the biggest times would be like our Pops fundraiser, and we're talking, that Pops fundraiser, we move thousands of dollars in one night when we do that Pops fundraiser. Because the last time we did it, we made almost $2,000 in a night. And then anytime if we were doing like the ice cream stuff and we sell merchandise there, so if we're selling like swag, because we still have a ton of like old shirts and old designs that we can sell off. So if somebody's using that, we would take a hit. And we're talking, I think it's like 2%. So what most organizations do is they'll have a little sign that says, if you're paying with PayPal, we'll charge you, or paying with a credit card, we charge you a 2% increase or whatever it is. So that's one way we can handle that offset. Some other companies use Venmo. Like I know our Care and Concern Committee at the junior high uses Venmo. If you have a Venmo account, and you pay another Venmo account from your Venmo account, you don't pay any fees. They don't pay any fees. Just like PayPal, the only difference is you have to have a Venmo account in order to use it. So it's kind of hit or miss either way. Our other option is Square. To be completely honest, what I would say, I haven't looked at this stuff in a year or two. I'll go look because once we get the 501c3 status, there are different companies that will give you different rates. So it might be worth me going through and just putting in an Excel sheet of like, here's the company, here's the rate we pay this, here's what it would be with a 501c3. But my suggestion would be to get that up sooner rather than later. And we were talking as a team about the patron of the arts. And even though we're not doing concerts this year, which is where we traditionally display our patron of the arts, we do have social media pages. We do have a YouTube page where we can put up sponsors. We have a website where we can put up sponsors. So it might be worth, putting a patron of the arts form together electronically and then putting it out on social media or on the website, or even getting like corporate sponsors. Like Bravecast right now is 2 corporate sponsors, where they donated, like the Modern Teacher, which is my company, donated $150 worth of material to Bravecast. Susan Rydell donated her time making a logo for Bravecast. So there's 2 corporate sponsors on there right now. So I would say that might be worth looking into, but in order to do that, we're going to need a way to take electronic funds. And we would just need to make sure that we work with the treasurer, because the problem with PayPal is when you donate money into PayPal, it sits in a PayPal account until you transfer it out. So we would just need to make sure that we set up a treasurer email so that way it's linked specifically to the treasurer so they can only access it. And then that way it's transferred just like how we have the social media account. So that way we're not handing the keys to the kingdom over unless you want that associated with the ITJRHS account. But I would say probably just keep it separate so that way you're not handing the keys of the kingdom over every time we swap a treasurer.
Agreed. And that was something Mrs. Purse was going to put in a blurb for us in the newsletter this past week, but she waited because she wanted to know if we could offer a way for parents to make a donation if they didn't want to buy popcorn. And so I agree, the sooner we could get this set up. I don't know how long that takes necessarily, but
I can have the information to you. I'll have it to you later tonight. I'll send it to the exec team and then y'all can decide which way you want to go. And honestly, it takes 15 minutes to set it up. We can have the account set up by tomorrow, and then it takes to link to the bank account. I mean, you can start collecting funds right away, but then to link it to the bank account, it takes like 3 business days because either they have to log in with the bank credentials, which I don't know if we have that ability, or they'll make micro transactions to the bank account, and then you have to provide the exact amount. So they'll donate like 2 cents and then take 2 cents away. So you have to say, okay, you donated or you paid us 2 cents, and then you paid us 5 cents. So linking it is kind of a pain, but setting it up is pretty easy. But I can research after this and put an Excel sheet together and send it out to the exec team for them to vote on something.
Great. Does anybody have any concerns with putting like a donate button on our website, or, you know, any concerns that we've overlooked about making this? I think it makes sense. I think it's the best way we can move forward. But does anyone have any concerns about adding an electronic, I guess, donation button or to accept electronic payments of any kind? That would, if you don't mind looking that up, Mr. Cannon, that would be fantastic. We could get some more information, and then the exec board could, you know, get right on that and hopefully make a decision. And then Mrs. Purse could put that out, you know, in the newsletter yet while the fundraiser is even still going on. We could get it started and kicked off. That would be fantastic. Any other comments on anything tonight or other new business that we've missed?
Just a reminder, we still have the treasurer's report to go over.
Oh, thank you. Did John, I'm sorry, I don't see my list. Did John make it in?
He did not, but it doesn't look like there's any new activity. It's just a carryover balance.
I was just gonna say the same thing. It looks like there was no real activity there that we need to concern ourselves with. So just a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I motion, sorry. I completely forgot about the meeting, everyone. I'm so sorry. Not
It's
the meeting. I
okay.
forgot what time it was.
It's great to see you. Hello. We're glad you're here. It's all
Oh.
good.
Look at me. I was painting and then I was like, oh my God, it's after 6.
It's all good.
Second the motion.
You got our move. You got in. We're good. We're seconded.
Okay.
We're all approved. So
Tina and Raymond. All right.
we're good. Do you have anything fundraiser wise or any other questions, Tina?
No, it was easy to set up and I couldn't get over it. I placed an order and the very next day the popcorn came.
Yeah, it's been really quick. It's
I was
been-
hoping for a longer buffer because which
Now you
means
have-
I've now eaten it all.
and you have to
No, I
order
think that's
more.
a good thing, because then people order more because they eat it all and then they want more. So, you know, it's a good thing for us.
It is. And the shipping isn't that bad. How are we doing so far for sales?
We're doing well. We've sold $3,944. So our profit right now is $2,034.50.
Ooh, we'll take that. That's nice.
I thought that was a great one. Yeah. So we're doing well, and we're setting up an online music swag store.
Okay. And we were able to piggyback on something that ASD4 has.
Susan Riddell that runs it is going to set up the whole online thing for us.
Perfect.
Really awesome.
I am, thank you. My plate's a little heavy.
Yeah. Can you find your plate after moving? There's the bigger question.
I have the,
Got to find the plate first. Otherwise, I believe everybody, our next meeting isn't until it's like February. I think.
really? I could use that. No offense, though. But
Oh,
I did have a question. How did the 5th grade sign up thing go? Well,
yeah,
like they
Yes.
came and they were signing
Hold
up
on a
for,
second. Sorry, I got
sorry.
it's talking to me like 5 times. Let me close.
I'm sorry. You probably all talked about this
Everything is
already.
talking to me. There's too many windows talking to me.
it's okay. We'll let Mr. Cannon have a second. He's running like all the tech.
Okay. I
Awesome.
found the window that was talking to me. So it was like a continuous echo. And all I heard like 7 times was, how did the 5th grade thing do? It went well. We had 32 people attend the event. Only one person who had signed up did not come. And then honestly, we're probably going to run the event just like we ran it this past time, every time moving forward, because it seemed to help a lot more to have the instruments there for the parents. So they literally just came, signed up, grabbed them and left, which
Okay.
worked really, really well for the parents. And we had really great feedback. And then the scheduling app we used, we didn't have any problems with scheduling. I limited it to 5 slots. So we had 5 riders, 5 slots. People showed up usually about the time they were supposed to be there. There was a couple people that were there early. We got them through, got them out, and it really prevented the long lines that we usually have, because in the past we get like the lines of like 20 or 30 people all at once,
Mhm.
or nobody shows up for an hour and a half. We didn't have any of that issue, which was really nice. But we did have it pretty front loaded, so a lot of people came between like 6 and 7:15, and then it was kind of a little more meandered after that. But I thought it went really well overall.
Awesome. I'm hearing a lot of buzz. The kids seem to be very excited about starting. So
And we're very excited to hear they have advertised for the 2 new positions. So that's fantastic. So hopefully interviews are going to be happening and we'll get rolling for those guys.
okay.
Great news. Yeah, so does everybody look like February 22nd is going to be our next meeting?
I think that sounds awesome.
Oh, sorry, I did have that too. I was pulling that up because I actually had like a list today on the Edison Music Parents of all of the future YouTube live stream links. So our next meeting is January 25th.
Oh, January
Oh,
25th.
5. Okay.
I missed that one.
So we have one January 25th, one February 22nd, and one April 12th. So I think y'all can. I don't know. Is it sharing that screen right now that shows all the live accounts or no?
No.
Okay, it's probably if that one also has the Zoom link on it. But anyways, mainly because like Cindy reminded me today that I didn't send out the YouTube link to anyone, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably like make that. So there is now a YouTube link for every single meeting, so that way I don't forget again. And then they're all linked together, so that way all somebody has to do is hit start stream in the Zoom call, and then somebody just has to hit start stream on YouTube, and you're good to go. So, and makes it very easy.
It looked like we had like 55 views of the last meeting, which we've never had 55 people at a meeting before. So
There was 55, and then this one we've had 15 playbacks, and 6 people watched it the entire time.
yay.
This is awesome.
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 Way to go. Way to go, you 6 people. I love you already.
Exactly. Thank you. It's fantastic. But I mean, I think that this is a good, format for now for what we're doing. So thank you, everybody, but especially thank you, Mr. Cannon, for all the tech work.
Mhm.
Greatly
you.
appreciated.
And
Oh,
I
you're welcome.
apologize, everyone. I'm so sorry.
We forgive. It's all good.
By January, I am going to be settled. So hopefully.
Let's hope everybody's doing good in January. Well, I think we'll adjourn if nobody has anything more.
No? Okay.
Thanks so much. And stay safe and well, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. All right, stream has